Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I've been constantly asked to come up with a way to do the fenders like Jakarta does it on his video. Personally, that is not my style. Remember, customizing diecast is just a representation of what would you do on a real car, and I would never put those type of fenders on a real car. It seems to be like something for the younger crowd, but there is a purpose for this method, that you can use it on other things other than creating fenders. So I decided to make the video. I'm working on this play art that's in 240, and I was thinking of doing fenders for this, but then I couldn't bring myself to do that to this car. You can see I have two. I made a custom chassis for this one. The original chassis looked like this. I'm slowly working on this. I don't have a lot of time lately, but yeah, so this, I'm not putting fenders like that. So I found this casting here, and we're gonna do some fenders here. Something similar but not the same of what he does, because if you see his videos, you can see that he puts what he's using, some kind of resin with a catalyst and a mix with baby powder. But if you look online, that's something that I think it might be commercial grade and only available on that side of the world. So there's a method that I've been using for a long time. I just haven't done a video about it. Like I said, it could be used for other things. So this is 3D printer resin. I just happened to buy this brand because it's cheap on Amazon. Like I said, I do it for other things, right? So you make sure you shake it. Make sure you wear gloves. Make sure you wear everything that's recommended here in the bags. You want these guys out here leaving comments that, oh my god, you're not wearing gloves and all that stuff, and respirator and all that stuff. So he uses baking powder. He uses baby powder. What we need to use is baking powder. Baking soda is not going to work. Baby powder is not going to work. It's this baking powder. It's the only thing that's going to work with this. Now remember, don't work with this near a window when the sun is out, because it will get hard. This is not going to dry out until you hit it with a UV light. Now I'm going to show you that you can use a cheapo UV light, and I'm also going to show you the ones that I have with the rotating table inside and everything. So I'm going to do the mix right here so you can see it, and we're going to set this up for that, and we'll be back. Alright, so as you can see, it's a bit thinner than honey, but it could be a little bit thicker, but it's up to you on how you mix it up, right? I like it like this because it runs all over and it covers a lot. So this, what I'm going to use, you want to use something that the resin be easier to take off and doesn't stick. So this is the backing of the labels that I use to ship stuff. You probably use starch paper too. So I'm just gonna, because this car that I'm using here has a very wide opening there. But this is not, I'm not gonna go out of my way to make it look pretty. It's just a video to show you in a way that you could do something similar to what he does. He uses the tires because that will give him the opening that he needs for the tires. Of course, I'm not doing that because I don't have tires for this car, but again, this is just so it could give you an idea. You can see here I tipped it down. We're ready to go. This is so it doesn't move anywhere. Make sure you wear gloves. Alright, check it out. You see, this is why that first run, you really want it to be kind of runny. Look, this is glue, but it does have the UV light, right? I'm gonna keep it away from that. That should be dried, and now you could go and build another layer. Then hit it again. If you do a better job, if you use, like, for example, the taped up tires, then you're not gonna have this overflow, right? So you go as thick as you like. Sometimes they do like the whole fender, so you could just build it up little by little, and it's because this is not really that thick. You can use your X-Acto knife to cut out the excess and then just sand. Now I have this other light over here with a rotating table inside. I'll leave a link on Amazon for it because it has a more powerful UV light inside. I've showed this in the past. I'm just gonna hold it there. That should have been enough. Of course, that light comes apart. I could have had it, but that's not how I use that thing. I'm not gonna unscrew all of that. Now, let's leave that for a moment now. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're working with a red line and the car is just all pitted out, right? You have a big gap like that. Well, now instead of using putty and all that stuff, you can make a mixture like this. Put it in there. Where's the flashlight? I think I put too much. You really want to go light, very light. But you get the idea. See, already got hard. And now all you got to do is you sand this down. Now you just fixed a big hole there. All right, so let me do the other side for the Spanish channel, and I'll be back. All right, so you see this backing thing came out pretty easy, and it's still kind of wet. So you can go back with the UV light, right? Or you could put it back inside the box here. And I will really wait for this to dry up. Now the good thing about this is that you can bake it. As a matter of fact, it's even better if you bake it, because resin tends to give out some gas, and it stops giving out gas once it's fully cured. So if you're not comfortable baking it, but you live in a place with a lot of sunlight, just put it outside, let it sit, and then you can come back and start sanding it down. You could probably cut it. You see, it's easy to cut, and then start sanding and shaping it to the form that you want. Now, when you deal with resin, you might want to spray it with alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. Wipe it down before painting it, because if you leave it like this, the paint might not stick. So you have to clean it, just like any 3D printed model. You have to clean it, and same thing goes with this. You might want to spray it with isopropyl alcohol, wipe it down, and then sand. And then if you need to add more, just repeat the process. But there it is. That's gonna be it. Hope you enjoyed this little trick. And there is some resin that they sell on Amazon with similar to what he uses, but it's like $100, and it comes in a gallon, and all this stuff has an expiration date. Look. So if you buy a gallon and you don't use it by a certain amount of time, it's gonna go bad. And like I said, this is not something that I like doing, so I will never buy that resin to try it out. But it looks like it might work. They use it for patching up boats inside, where they mix the resin with the catalytic. The catalytic comes in a smaller bottle, and then you patch up whatever you need, and then I guess you mix that with baby powder. But like I said, I found this to be cheaper, convenient, and it's good for other things like restoring old red lines. And this can be baked. As a matter of fact, if you bake it, it's even better, because resin tends to give out some gas until it's fully cured. So I would not recommend to paint something that you just did with resin. So you can bake it upwards of the 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and this thing is not gonna melt. It's just gonna get harder and more brittle when you deal with resin. But it will emit all the gases that's gonna give out, and then you can paint, and you don't have to worry about paint bubbling up, especially spray can with all the acetone that it's inside. You don't want to make no weird reaction. But here it is. Let me know in the comments what you think. That's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. Peace out.